Hey guys, SJ here and welcome back to my channel. Today is a very special day because I have a video collab with three amazing women. That is Tiffany, Carson, and Kate. We have combined forces together to create a signature makeup video. So basically we're going to be doing each of us tutorials on our go-to look. And it was a really fun video to film, and I really encourage you guys to go check out all their Instagram and YouTube because they're sensational women. I feel very blessed to have them in my life. I'm going to put all their information down below. If you guys want to know what I created and the products that I used for that, I don't know what that was about. Please do keep on watching. So at first I'm going to prep my skin. I did my skincare early this morning and I'm going to grab some NYX oil. This is a dry oil. I learned this from Danessa. And I'm just going to take my MAC Cosmetic Duo Fiber brush. And I'm going to focus on more of the high points of my face. And what that dry oil does is that it's going to create a smoother base. And the products will slip and glide on much easier. Next up, I never forget to highlight. So I'm taking my Hollywood Flawless filter and I'm just going to apply some on a platter. This is one of my favorite way to apply makeup just because it doesn't soak into my skin. I will use the back of my hand a little bit and you will see, but I like to use this to not waste as much product. I'm going on the high points of my face with this and I am mixing it a little bit with the oil. I'm just using a buffing brush to just buff everything in to make sure that there's no excess oils or anything like that on my face and that I have a very smooth base. So up next we're going to contour, and I do that before applying foundation on. Just bear with me. I'm doing some underpainting and I'm going to take a contour brush. This is a really small contour brush from Real Techniques. I really love this brush, and I'm going to go ahead and take Danessa Myricks and I'm going to apply that middle shade. This is a new product and I know that we're supposed to be using products that we adore. And I've only used this once yesterday, but I fell in love with it so much that I had to use it today. So what I'm doing is that I used a different brush that has no product on there for blending. And why I'm doing that is because I want to control the product that I placed on and blend it out. And if I use this brush again, it would just disperse more products everywhere. So while I'm doing my makeup, I'm going to try to not describe as much and talk about the lovely ladies that are collaborating with me. So first, let's talk about Kate. So Kate is State of Kate on Instagram and on YouTube. And she is the ultimate effortless cool girl. I find that she has the most beautiful eyes, and I follow her because of her energy, her continuous desire to pump out reviews and to give really in-depth reviews for products. And she always has a beautiful shimmery eye. So go check out her signature look. I'm sure there's going to be a shimmery eye and a glossy lip or something like that, because that girl has the most amazing eyes and she can just put a wash of color and looks amazing on her. So what I love about this formula so far is that it's really blendable. It works really well. It's pigmented. You don't need a lot, and you can use it on your face, your eyes, your lips, everywhere you want. But today I just used it for my contour. So for foundation, we're going to be using the Nude Sticks Tinted Cover. So this foundation is my favorite one just because it is quite hydrating and it's very lightweight. And the reason why I like to underpaint instead of putting on my foundation first is that I want that contour to be very subtle. All right, guys, so let's talk about Tiffany. So Tiffany is this, I'm going to keep saying cool girl because I just feel like I'm hanging out with like three cool girls in high school and I'm the one that's like, you guys are hanging out with me. But for real, Tiff is like that really cool girl that if you don't follow her already, you're going to see that sometimes she's going to like start talking in Spanish and have some really cool upbeat music in her Instagram videos tutorial. And she just has also the most beautiful eyes. You just focus on her eyes when you see her. And she just does so many different amazing looks. She has amazing creativity, and you always get like a really nice like in-depth look with her eyes. It's really wonderful. We're gonna now conceal it a little bit. So I'm gonna take my Dior Forever Skin Correct concealer. This is my favorite concealer because it is quite matte, and since I like to have a really dewy look, I don't want my imperfections to be covered with something dewy because I don't want them to show up. on camera or in pictures or in real life. I had to use this palette for my signature look because this is my personality in a plate. Let me show you this gorgeous palette. That is the Enchanted palette by Sigma. So this palette has so many amazing shimmers, and they're really multi-dimensional, and the mattes really blend in perfectly. So to start, I'm gonna do just a small little transition shade. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Innocent. I'm gonna focus right here. And instead of doing circles, I'm gonna flick the shade towards my eyebrow and towards my temple. So when I think of my signature look, I think of a glowy base always, and I really love to accentuate my eye. So today we're gonna do a smoked out wing liner, and I have personally hooded eyes. So if you haven't seen any of my videos before, I do my liner in a different way just because I do have some extra skin here that falls down. So if I were to do a liner with my eyes closed, I would get kind of a rounded shape. So if you don't have hooded eyes, you don't have to do your look with your eye open. I do with my eye open just because I want to create that nice straight line. So I'm going to take any kind of angled brush will work. This one is the ColourPop E6. And I'm going to go ahead and use Evergreen. So Evergreen is a beautiful, I'll swatch it and show it to you on the little corner right here. But Emerald is a beautiful, Evergreen is a beautiful emerald shade. So I'm going to take my liner and I'm going to really concentrate. And what's cool that I didn't do my concealer first is that I might be able to correct my liner afterwards. But I really like to create a lifted effect. So what I like about those angled brush is that just by stamping it down, you really create your shape. So when I open my eye, you see that there's dots. We're gonna fix that a little bit later. I just really wanna create my shape first. So I'm keeping my eye open. I really wanna talk about Carson, but this is not the time just because I need to be precise. So I'm gonna go ahead and speed through this so you can see how the product moves. So before we start moving with the blending, now that I have my shape, I'm gonna go and attempt to do the other side, hold my breath, and do the best job that I can to make it as perfect as possible. So we got both eyes done. My biggest tip for this is it's really trial and error. The first time that I did this technique, it did not look great. And it's just about learning your features, figuring out where you want that eye lift look to go. And then the rest is gonna be a little bit easy breezy. So the next step is a little bit more complex. So what I'm gonna do with my eye relax, as you can see when I'm opening my eyes, it has kind of like a crazy shape. So I can go ahead and kind of link that line right here, but you don't wanna link this line here because if I start to really fill it out, you'll see that I'm gonna get more green shadow here and I don't want to. So what I'm gonna do is while my eye is still open, I'm putting my angle brush in my skin fold. It sounds gross, but it works really well. And what that's gonna do, it's gonna fill it out just a little bit. Next up, we're gonna leave the eyeliner alone for a bit, and I'm gonna go ahead and pick my favorite shade in this palette, and it is called Metamorphosis. So I'm gonna take it with my finger just because these colors work better when I apply it with my finger instead of a brush. Look at that. It's just like this beautiful mauve duochrome shade. And if you want to do something similar at home, I would say that Glass Bull from ColourPop is extremely close to this shade, and also Solstice by Urban Decay. Just gonna take my big fluffy brush and blend it out. So now that I have the two main colors, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a smaller brush. I'm gonna take a little bit of Evergreen, just a tiny bit, and I'm gonna move that color towards the center of my eye. Very, very lightly. So while I'm blending, I'm gonna stop talking about my eyeshadow and talk to you about Carson. So Carson, first of all, is such a lovely and talented makeup artist. So she's a full-time makeup artist. I find that we're really lucky as like our girl gang that I like to call, that we get so much knowledge from Carson, and she is just so passionate about clean beauty. Really makes, I'm not a clean beauty person. Like I have some clean beauty stuff, but I definitely do use things that are not clean. But I find it super interesting the way she talks about clean beauty, and how I can read my labels better and think about what I'm putting on my face a little bit more. She has the most glowy skin as well. Like, she creates the most beautiful fresh look. So I can't wait for you guys to go check out her video as well. So to complete the eye look, I'm going to take Evergreen on a Repper brush. This is my Repper 03, and it's basically just a really, really tiny pencil brush. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply Evergreen on my lower lash line, just a little bit. With that same brush, I'm just getting rid of the excess, and I'm going to go in Metamorphosis, and I'm going to put Metamorphosis on the center of my lower lash line to just kind of create like that nice little sheen there too. For my inner corner highlight, I'm going to take my favorite powder highlighter, Quad, and this one is the Dior Face Glow palette, I believe. Glow Face palette. And I'm going to take that pure white, and I'm just going to apply it right in my inner corner. And what I'm using is actually a lip brush, and I learned this from Pat McGrath in one of her master classes to just create something a little bit more precise that is just really concentrated. I'm now going to apply my concealer, and if you've been following for a while, you know that I am in love with the Youngblood Ultimate Concealer. I just find that it's really great. I used to wear the Becca corrector and not put any concealer on top, and now I can't stop using this one. So what I'm doing is I'm actually applying concealer where that angle is to just really make it crisp, and putting some concealer more on my inner corner. I find when I put some in the center, it just starts to look dry a little bit, and I don't like to put on too much. I'm going to take my contour brush that is now pretty much no product on there for my face. And for my eyes, I'm going to go ahead and use my blending brush from the beginning of the tutorial. For mascara, I'm going to be using the Tom Ford Badass Mascara. I've had this one for months, and I find that the drier it gets, the better it gets. Next up is blushing time, and it's one of my favorite products to use. I love to use cream products, and I think Us 4 has a love, just like a united love for cream blushes. And I am known as the Nude Sticks girl, so I'm going to be using Nude Stick. This is one of my favorite colors. This is Body Language, and I'm going to take my Real Techniques setting brush, and I'm kind of just going to concentrate just on the apples of my cheeks, and going to bring it towards my temple in the same direction as I did with my eye makeup. Whatever's left over on my brush, I'm just going to apply a little bit on my nose, and I like to add some on the temples of my forehead as well. Most days I like to intensify my contour a little bit more and make it a little bit more bronzy, so I'm going to use Beach Babe by Nude Stick, which is another one that I really love, but I'm going to go for this one with my contour brush. I'm going to apply a little bit on my brush, and I'm going to tap off the excess on the back of my hand, and I'm going to focus more on the hollows of my cheeks and bring it up to my temple. I have a new love, and this is the Duet Balm from Danessa Myricks, and this is in Morning Dew. It's very similar to Nude Stick's highlights, like the look of it, but this one is less sticky. It's very light. So I'm going to show you on the side picture right here, just kind of a swatch of it. But as you can see, I'm applying a little bit more for you to see it, but it kind of has that like nice little golden morning glow. And I'm going to go in the same direction again of my eyes, a little bit on the nose. So for lips, I don't want to make it too intense, but my go-to lately has been the Endless Cacao lip liner. So I'm going to look crazy right now, but basically what this does is that it contours your own lips, and it creates more of a darkness and more of an ombre look. So I'm going to just take a lip brush and smudge out. You can also use your finger. To finish off the lips, I'm going to go ahead and use my Nude Stick Lip Glacé in shade 04. Alright guys, this is the final look that I created today, my signature look. And when I mean signature, I mean I never really do the same eye look twice, but it has the basis of what I like to use. Step 1, glossy skin. Step 2, blush moment. Step 3, elongate your eyes. And step 4, mascara. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do take the time to go check out Kait Tiffany and Carson's Instagram and YouTube for their signature look. And I will see you guys on the next video. Bye, guys.